Frank, incredible.
Good.
Tell us a little bit about your stuff that you're doing, how you wound up in the field of acting.
Wow, I acted in, I discovered acting in college in New York, and, you know, never told anybody. It was like my dirty secret, you know? It was like I was making illegal liquor. I couldn't tell anybody in my family that I was going to college and I wanted to be an actor. And then out of college, you know, I got a job on a soap opera called Guiding Light, where I met my wife, who I'm currently married to still, who's on the show. On this show, the second half of the season, she plays my love interest, Wendy Moniz.
Nice.
Which is great. And then you know, after the soap opera kind of came out to California and did my thing, and here I am, still here.
You are obviously become a very big fan of boxing. You've trained with Rickson.
Yeah.
You're an incredible boxer now.
Yeah. I mean, for me, for a civilian, I'm a good fighter. I spar 3 times, 4 times a week.
And you're also training, aren't you? Let us some of the emerging MMA fighters that are coming out.
Yeah.
Tell us about your experience of what it's like to just be so close to this great.
Yeah, you know, it's like, I think guys at my age have discovered golf, and they dedicate their life to golf, and they believe that that's their, you know, their second lives are on the golf course. I have been wrestling and boxing and doing jiu-jitsu for so long, and now legitimately involved in the fight world, both in MMA and boxing, to a point where it's become my second career aside from acting. I'm heavily involved in. There's a couple of fighters that I'm promoting that I sponsor for you know, for their camps and stuff, and I've just really learned. I mean, and before I feel like I may have been this thick into it, and now I'm like this. My 3 sons box. My son's in college, he boxes, and it's just it's if I'm not acting, if I'm not working, it's what I want to be doing.
You started training with Rickson.
Yeah.
And involved right after college as well.
Right. Before there was a UFC, when Rickson was training for his last Vale Tudo.
Yeah.
In fact, he trained with all his black belts for his Vale Tudo, and I think in Choke there's a scene where he's at the studio on Pico where I trained with him, and everybody's saying goodbye to him because he's about to go to Japan.
Yeah.
So yeah, and my friend Christian, who's now a filmmaker, actually filmed a lot of that footage of Rickson when he went to Choke. And you know, there's such a great community with those guys, and then we trained Hoist for a little while for UFC, which nobody ever knew what it was, and then look where we are now.
Yeah. You saw the great younger generation come up, Chrome Gracie as well.
Yeah.
You saw the Rico Chiapparellis come in and out as well.
Yeah, all those guys, and you know, I've seen an evolution of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You know, guys like Eddie Bravo, who started kind of toying with different things in what the Gracie family brought. Now, you know, now I see an even greater. I've seen the past 8 years a real great evolution, which almost got us away from what I think is the beauty of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And I think now we're going through something. There's a consciousness getting back to more traditional Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
And with your great insight and great authority of the subject of the fight world, what are your thoughts about what makes the great contributions, like the great wrestlers that are coming out that are so successful?
You know, to me, having a background in wrestling, I just think the greatest fighters for MMA are the great college wrestlers. I mean, the guys who have that ability then to turn it up another 10 notches and be able to, you know, learn finishing, learn jiu-jitsu. But as far as conditioning and stick-to-itiveness and the mental toughness, you show me a guy tougher than you know, a Division I college wrestler, and you know, I dare you to. I don't think they exist. I was just watching the Nationals. I'm amazed at the level of athleticism that these kids coming out of these great schools have, and that foundation for mixed martial arts to me is the most important foundation. It's tough to teach a boxer, a true boxer, how to fight MMA. It really is. I mean, I'm around them all the time. Just clearly on the basic fundamentals of boxing, it goes against everything in mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
So wrestlers, wrestlers never let up. You can't rest.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that's the educational process is the ground game as well,
Absolutely.
which many of the American audience and the international audience aren't familiar with.
Yeah, and because it's not again, I said it a few times. It's very esoteric to watch wrestling on television or watch the Jiu-Jitsu tournaments because there's a lot that doesn't happen. You don't think to the civilian eye, but there is a lot going on. It's like watching chess. I mean, if you don't understand chess, there's nothing happening.
Right.
I equate that to wrestling. Without I think, look, what happened to Conor McGregor? Diaz is a legitimate black belt. Is he the best black belt? By far, no. He's a good black belt. He got caught in something that he should never have gotten caught in, and he got choked out. I mean,
so would you say that there's a lot of hype in MMA as well?
I think
there's a lot of theatricality.
I think there is a lot of theatricality. There's a level of the WWE, and maybe because of how controlled the fights are, that exists in MMA, the UFC. And I don't know that that's a bad thing. I think it's necessary because it is entertainment as well as sport.
Right.
And so there is that showmanship that you need, and it's why the sport needs Conor McGregor. I believe it needs him as much as he needs it.
And isn't it ironic as well that here you are, as a great authority who understands this incredible game so well, you're involved in spectacle and theater.
Yeah, but that's what it is. It's theater. I think all sports are theater, and then they become political. So at some point, soccer, football, in other parts of the world, there's a political tone. It can shift. It can shift civil. It can create civil unrest, uproars. If one team loses, and it's crazy what sports represents, and MMA is no different.
So what's Frank's vision for the future for the world of MMA, the mixed martial arts, and the combative world?
I think if MMA wants, and I think MMA has come so far so fast, but I do think that if MMA wants to go to a place where everyone watches it, I think, unfortunately, that things need to be changed. I think some things need to be toned down. Some rules need to be implemented. There needs to be a little less assault that's allowed. In boxing, if you're out on your feet, you could move around a bit and you can get this composure, and come back and win the fight. If you get knocked out, if you get knocked down in mixed martial arts, in the UFC, in Bellator, he's on you, he's hammer fisting your face. There's no chance for recovery. So, and it's brutal to watch. People lean back. So they got to, and I think, and this is my humble opinion, I think if the MMA world at large needs to find a way that people are never leaning back, that they always lean in. And it's true for films, it's true for all entertainment. You never want people turning away. So,
awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. What an incredible opportunity to be in your presence.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate
Thank you.
you.